Hello guys, welcome to another one of my Battle Breakers videos. In this video I'm going to be looking into the Cryosteel Golem, a knight from the monster pit. As always, a huge, amazing, massive thank you to everyone out there using my supporter creator code Loke Hansen in the Epic Games launcher, in the Battle Breakers game. Wherever you are playing, I'm deeply honored about your support. Remember that a portion of sales goes to me when you use my supporter creator code or link. So what I'm going to be doing in this video, we're going to be pitting out the Cryosteel Golem against a few different maps, and I'm going to be starting out with the 2211 in Forgotten Lands, the last map in the game. This is where we face the Cryosteel Golem, so I figured it would be a nice stage to pit the hero a little bit up against itself. It is a knight and not an assault bot, which I would really like it to be. It's a water element, and it has the best stats in the game, like when we're talking affinity for hit points and attack. So that is pretty huge. I've been putting a little bit into the hero, but not that much, because all else equal, it is probably gonna go back into the monster pit. It has a special skill that deals damage to a target and damage to nearby enemies, stunning enemies for 5 turns and creating water terrain. And water terrain is huge for this one because it will increase the defense based on the hero's attack points for each water terrain on the map. It will then add defense on top of its attack, but capped at a number. So whenever you're playing with a lot of water terrain, you're gonna be really boosting up with the Cryosteel Golem. It also has a team perk that is pretty cool. One of the reasons you may want to be playing with it, in that you will be resisting stuns up to 4 turns, so that is massive. Heroes will get 30% max hit points, and terrain damage and healing from water terrain is gonna be doubled. So if you're gonna be playing in a water map, this is a huge hero, and it also makes it a bit of a special hero in that it synergizes best with water, and it is really good against stuns. But we mostly have stuns in water maps, and this is actually a water hero that should be good against fire element opponents. So it is a little bit tricky, but definitely one of those late game advanced heroes. And like I said before, it offers an amazing pile of stats for taking into any battle, like the highest stat affinity for any hero I have seen in the game, making it crazy huge. But we're now in the very first room in the Forgotten Lands 2211. Cryosteel Golem is the boss that we are facing, and this is the group I'm coming in here with, just trying to see if we can make the Cryosteel shine a little bit. Boosting up with Saracen Disciple, we have more defense, and then I'm just gonna try to stun things. And if you noticed, all of the opponents went on a 1-turn cooldown. This is very important to note because it explains how the resist stun up to 4 turns actually works. It means that the first 4 turns of any stun will be removed, not if you stun for more than 4 turns it will work. So we're stunning everything for 5 turns, but they're just getting stunned 1 turn. So that is how it works. If anything fires a stun against your group that has 4 turns or lower, it won't count as all. So that is pretty huge, and it is important to understand that you won't be stunning for 5 turns just because you have more than 4, and no matter what kind of stun you will be facing, if you're up against opponents that stun you for 1 turn when you attack them, for instance, we have a lot of that in the game, then this won't count as all. So the Cryosteel Golem is like the anti-stun above them all. There is no question about it. If you're gonna be facing some kind of battle where you have a lot of stuns, this is the hero you want to bring in there. But again, when you have the Cryosteel Golem, you have probably won the game, meaning that you have found a way to win those battles anyway. So it is another one of the win more heroes that we have in the game. Just as with Gabriel, you get him by completing the game, so it is a win more hero. When you use him, it's just gonna be making life easier for you in a lot of different battles. Now I have Arctic Wolf Trick here, and I could use the stun, but it makes no sense to stun here because stunning for 2 turns will just be a 0-turn stun. The base concept with the group that I'm going in here with is that Lady Sun is gonna be demolishing almost everything. Saracen Disciple will keep us safe. Noble Ward Mirror will keep us even more safe. Arctic Wolf Trig will make sure that we can stun things so we won't be taking damage, and hopefully we will get some fun out of Cryosteel Golem. Gonna try to see if we can do some stunning in here as well, boosting up defense, then boosting up stuns for 2 turns like that, and then we really have things locked down, and we can try to use the Cryosteel Golem if we want to stun even more, or we can just break some crystals because they are stunned already. So now I can choose to try to see if I can like deal damage and area damage and stun for 5 turns as well, to see if we do anything that is interesting here. I'm just hitting this one, and Claire didn't get any. I don't think that was a counter attack. Okay, so she did get a 5 turn stun, so that is actually a pretty nice size on the nearby enemies. Very, very nice, getting everything stunned here for 5 turns. Once again with Claire, we really need to consider her counter attacks because they can pretty much demolish everything that we have to play with. But oh man, Cryosteel is low on mana, but it's okay, it's okay. Important thing though, the stats for this hero is crazy. Now we're in a Dark Element room, now we have Dark Element Rain, so we're not boosting up a lot of defense from having Water Element. And when I use the special ability on Cryosteel Golem, I should lock the board to water for 12 turns, but bosses always overrule this. So you cannot use the Cryosteel Golem to lock an existingly locked board. So unfortunately we can't go in and affect how the rooms are with the Cryosteel Golem like that, but we can do it when we're not up against bosses. So once again, in with a room here, just boosting up so we can throw a few things back, stunning everything with Arctic Wolf Trig. And the reason why I brought in Arctic Wolf and Cryosteel Golem was just because, in my opinion, Cryosteel Golem is an inferior stunner compared to Arctic Wolf Trig. The cooldown on Arctic Wolf is only 2 turns, and he has a high chance of double striking, which means that you're very likely to stun things for 4 turns every 2 turns. And with the Cryosteel Golem, we just don't have the same options. We have a long cooldown, we do have a longer stun duration, but in order for you to get like really crazy pains out of him, you need to boost up the mana like crazy or play with mana boosting heroes. We have the Noble Guardian, we have Wavecrawler Jeanne, we have Sky Pirate Varus. You kind of need something else to feed him with mana in order to keep him up and running, because high mana cost and high cooldown, at least like based on how I consider the hero. So you want him for the anti-stun, you want him for the Water Terrain boost because it will like boost up attacks as well. There are a lot of great things to say about the Cryosteel Golem. It is like one of the best heroes in the game, definitely. But for me, it hasn't really been one of those heroes where I was like, this is going to change how I play the game. Some heroes do that. Lady Sun, Arctic Wolf, Saracen Disciple, they are like game-changing heroes to have, in my opinion. So is Gabriel the Dauntless. The Cryosteel Golem is just a cool water tank you can bring into a lot of different missions, and if you know you're going to be facing a lot of stunning, he's ideal to bring in as your main tank. Commander perk, man, it's a rare thing for us to use because a lot of the heroes, a lot of the groups that we have, we already know what we want as a commander perk. If you're going very offensive, you're going to be wanting to go in with like the Dragon Slayer for 60% more attack, for instance. If you want to be using wrestlers, you want Spirit Column or Fina to be your team commander. So it is a hard spot to use for something such as the Cryosteel. I feel so anyway. If you feel differently, be sure to put it down there in the comments. I would love to know if there are like things I haven't been attentionate about. But as you can see here, I targeted in the upper left corner with the Cryosteel Golem, and I stunned about half the board. So the other half of the board didn't get any stun. When I use Arctic Wolf Trig, I stun the entire board. So just again comparing one of these super rare, crazy endgame heroes from the monster pit that I think most players will never ever get. with a very farmable hero such as Arctic Wolf Trig that any player can get after having played for what, a few weeks. Then you can have it and slowly but surely max it up, also in terms of potions. So I didn't actually plan on making this a comparison video between the Cryosteel and the Arctic Wolf, but I think it's a very valid point to make that in most gaming situations you're gonna get more out of Arctic Wolf than you are from the Cryosteel Golem. If you're gonna be taking crazy damage, then yeah, Cryosteel is your go-to guy. But this is gonna be interesting. We don't have a lot of area damage here, so the mirrors and the Zearth are gonna be buffing up on both sides of the team. But we have stun. The opponent does not have stun, so this is gonna be a little interesting. I don't think I've had many battles like that. Okay. What is this then? So my Lady Sun is being reflected from Sarah's Sun Disciple, and the attack from Sarah's Sun Disciple is being attacked back to my Lady Sun, so we are reflecting attacks in a chain. We're just ping-ponging attacks here. This is pretty crazy. I have never been in a reflection loop before. And I also don't really understand why, because mirror should only reflect a few attacks. I'm just putting it on auto now because this is getting silly. Look at how they're just chaining. This is unbelievable. Do I need to lose this game because I have a reflection loop? Or can I guess I can just not hit the button really. Alright, so now we're going. Okay. Oh, okay. Holy moly, guys, look at this. Every time we got a reflection, we stashed up an attack on Lady Sun. She's gonna clear the freaking board now just because she had reflected attacks. I have never ever seen anything like this. Look at the amount of shots we're getting out of Lady Sun. I mean, she was the carry already, don't get me wrong. But this is... I have never seen that much damage output from Lady Sun in a single round. I mean, this is it's the same turn, we're still going. She is spraying all over the place, man. Okay, new turn. Oh my beepness. It was the activating shot. It was the activating shot. It was not one of her shots. It was actually the ability activating shot that got reflected that has replicated. She's wow. This is the easiest I've ever won 22-11, guys. That was crazy. Oh man, that was insane. So anyway, guys, that was 22-11 with the Cryosteel Golem, but this is not where you're gonna be playing most of the time. So I'm thinking we're gonna be looking into we're gonna be looking into some trials. So I'm gonna be going into fire first. Alright guys, so in a fire map such as this is where the Cryosteel Golem could shine. It's a water element hero, you're up against fire, you will take less damage and you will deal more damage. Does the Cryosteel Golem shine here? Unfortunately, no. And why is that? It's too slow. In my opinion, it is too slow. When I normally farm, I use area of effect damage, but the cooldown on the Cryosteel just doesn't compare to things like Seiya, Gabriel the Dauntless, Kalis the Branded, that deal a lot of good area damage every single turn. So the fact that we need to rely on cooldown management really means that it is a hard sell for endgame grinding to be using the Cryosteel Golem in fire element trials, and that is where you kind of want to get your keys, your core hero traces, your proximity locators, all that kind of stuff. So in my opinion, it kind of blows for this. That's just my thoughts on it. So let's check it up against the boss here in the last room. Just going on auto because like 99% of this game is autoplay. At least once you have pushed through the progression part of the game, then you rarely manually play unless you are trying to do something amazing or you have like weekly challenges or really hardcore minor event stuff like that. Then of course you're gonna be manually playing, but For things such as trials, I feel you definitely need to be doing it on auto. And I mean, it's a nice hero to have here. We did manage to get the board locked to water, but I don't feel it made any positive change for my grinding group to be bringing in the Cryosteel Golem here. Unfortunately, guys, I would have liked to say it differently, but let's try a water element. Where do I have it? Yeah, I'm getting lost in my own map. Let's try a water element trial instead, where we have stuns. Alright, so we're now in the water element trial and we have a Lifebringer Silesia. So how can we on auto defeat this map better? I used the 5-turn stun, so that could be a good thing. Getting Silesia stunned for 5 turns could be cool, because then she won't be resurrecting things. Bad thing is that in most Silesia battles, she kind of tends to heal up, and she has a decent amount of mana when you're playing up against her. You can see she's just healing up once again, and if I lock the board to water, which it already is, but if I do, she will get the benefit of it as well. It will make it harder for me to defeat water element opponents as well. So as an anti-water hero, it also struggles a little bit in that you give the opponents more healing as well when they act on a color map. So all in all, guys, man, Cryosteel Golem, is it a good hero? It is an amazing hero. It really is. The stat affinity on it is beyond comparison. It is crazy, insane, amazing. But you want it as one of those rare tactical strategic units that you will pull out for a very, very specific battle. In my opinion, it is too slow for autoplay. It requires too much mana, and in many situations, Arctic Wolf Trick just performs better if you want to be stunning the opponent. For anti-stunning, there is no hero like it. For stats, there is no hero like it. So it is a great, amazing hero, but it isn't offering me as an in-game player anything whatsoever that I have been needing so far. I can casually complete any map in the game, and I would rather put in Seiya or Gabriel or another area of effect hero than bringing in the Cryosteel Golem for my grinding maps. So anyway, guys, that was pretty much what I had to share about the Cryosteel Golem. The last thing that I'm gonna do is to go into my monster pit and put him in there, because it has been tried, tested, and enjoyed, and even though it is a great hero, it didn't really live up to my expectations, mostly because I kind of pushed past where I have hard things to do in the game. So if we're lucky, we're going to be getting some challenges in the future where it will be key to have a hero such as the Cryosteel. On the other hand, it is so hard to get for players. You need to get high up in the monster pit. So part of me wants to need this, the other part of me wants to have a lot of the challenges in the game completable also by non-hardcore grinding players. That was what I had to share in this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support, joining, liking, sharing, subscribing. I love you guys.